Ho, 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 Shalligators. Merry Christmas. Listen, usually around here, we talk about celebs. Today we're not going to, and not because there's nothing going on in celeb land. Demi Lovato happily has realized she once again, and still forever, has a vagina, and she would like a man inside of it. She is engaged. Good for her. Selena Gomez is realized, well, maybe she hasn't, but we have, that she's dating Andre the Giant, aka Benny Blanco. Anybody want a peanut? That's all I picture him saying in bed, just on a loop. Good for her as well, I guess. We're going to talk about those people next week, okay? Today, I just kind of wanted to do a holiday hang. Christmas time is difficult. It's difficult, man. From family dynamics to finances to just like not looking how you want to look, like feeling fat and wishing you could just go to these parties in the outfits you want and look how you want, to being brokenhearted over someone and dating and not knowing if this is the time that you should confess your feelings because that's what Christmas is about, right? To reevaluating things. Because listen, what's right after this? New Year's. And we're all high on this wave of sugar and gluten and seed oils and presents and spending. And then boom, we get face fucked by New Year's, where suddenly we have to be like the wisest owl in the barn. And it's like, it's a rough landing. It can be a rough landing from one week to the next. So there's just a lot that comes up. You know, we're thinking about people who have died. We're thinking about our own future. What is our legacy going to look like when we're older? Who are we going to spend Christmas with? And you know what's funny? You guys know I don't have kids. I don't want kids. And I am, as I grow older, never old, just simply older, also never wiser, I'm more and more sure of that decision. And believe me, I've had opportunities and I've had scares, you know, and it's not what I want. And the big scary monster under the bed with not having kids or just being single is always Christmas. It always funnels down to, well, who are you going to spend Christmas with? What are you going to do on Christmas? Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. And that just goes to show how fucking fraught this time of year is. And listen, maybe you're not Christian or you're Muslim or you're Jewish or whatever. This is still a family time. And this is still a time of reflection. Even if there's no holiday associated for you, there's still New Year's. The year still resets. And even if you're Chinese and you don't count it until, what is it, February? It's coming for you too. You're not exempt either, Chinese New Year celebrators. So it's a lot. We know that. So I just want to kind of give you guys a pep talk today and talk about it a little bit. And we can all commiserate together. We can laugh, we can cry. If you're in the Shallon, which, listen, if you're feeling lonely and vulnerable this season, please join. Like it is why I created it. And I am telling the girls in the Shallon things that I'm not telling my IRL friends. I'm like, I cried through the entirety of today's video, which was supposed to be Slutty Saturday, fun. And I started out fun and slutty. And then I just completely went off the rails and just started weeping over, well, join and you'll find out. But anyway, the Shallon is fun. It's like our little girl group on the internet. And so you get a bunch, like you get 5 extra videos a week, and there's group chats. There's, I think, 18 different group chats right now with like every theme you can imagine. And we're all just like talking a bunch and finding so much support, and like family is difficult. And sometimes it's better to talk to strangers. I mean, we're not like strangers, but you know what I mean, about family things, because it's hard to talk to your friends sometimes because you don't want them looking at your family in a different way, or they have their own perception of your family, or you maybe feel like you have to stay perfect, or it's tough. It's tough. There's a lot more dynamics when it comes to your friends that you know in real life. Online, it's like you can say whatever and everyone's like, we got you. Oh, I understand that. Oh, I've been through that. There's no like baggage or judgment. Anyway, links down below if you want to join. It really is such a great gift to give yourself for the holidays, and you talk to me all day long. Okay, Christmas. I've discussed this in a reel, but it bears repeating. Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? This is the holiday edition cup from Starbucks last year. This was what they released last year. It's got all these little spikes on it. It feels great on your hands, and it's gold. And this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. It is, I am obsessed with this. And they only sold it for like 4 weeks out of the whole year. Why? Because everyone who sees this, when I carry it, they're like, oh, where did you get that? People love it. People absolutely love it. And I thought to myself, it's so crazy that Starbucks would only sell this like for such a limited amount of time. It's so popular. Starbucks is a lot smarter than I am. It's not even really a contest. They know what they're doing. Their absolute best thing is limited. It's finite. It doesn't go on forever. They have plenty of other cups that have this same spiky thing, but they come in magenta, okay? And you can get that fucking magenta one all year long. Get the blue one all year long. You cannot get the gold. And I started thinking about this because I'm the idiot that sits around thinking about Starbucks cups way more than anyone intended, even Starbucks. And I thought, you know, our energy has to be this way. We have this misguided idea that we got to give gold cup energy to everything, that everyone has carte blanche, 24/7, 365 access to our gold cup self. Don't we feel like that? Isn't that the message that we're constantly given? Everyone deserves our best. Give it your all, 110%. Live, laugh, love. No, man. No. 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 Some things deserve gold cup energy. Most things actually don't. Because most things shouldn't even know what your gold cup energy entails. They shouldn't even know because they won't appreciate it and they don't deserve it. And this is never more clear to me than at the holidays, when we all go absolutely berserk and broke and fat and exhausted, and we all get sick, right? Like the flu is going around Bozeman like you wouldn't believe, because everyone's running themselves fucking ragged. They're going to Michael's looking for that exact ribbon that matches that exact paper because you have a Grinch theme in your house. And guess what? When those kids rip into that package, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck, you know, right? People don't know, or they shouldn't know, what your gold cup energy is. They just shouldn't know. They shouldn't know that you could have gone to one more Hobby Lobby and found that exact perfect ribbon. They don't know that instead of that beautiful cake you bought from a nice bakery, you could have actually made it for $85,000 and 75,000 hours of man hours to make the same cake that you just went out and bought, man. You just went out and bought it. Takeaway one from today? Fuck it, dude. Just let it go, man. Let it go. Fuck it. Let me show you something. You want to see something? Oh, what's this? What have we here? This is a copper cup. This is a rose gold copper cup from this year's Starbucks Holiday Edition. Let's look at these side by side. To me, it's not even close. The gold, I mean, it's gold. It's gold standard. It's incredible. But if you've never seen that, this would look great to you. If I had never seen that gold cup and bought it, this new edition this year, I'd be like, oh, wow, it's got these little ridges. It's not spikes though, it's just silly little ridges. It slips right through my dumb little fingers. But the thing is, again, if I hadn't had that gold cup, this would be fine. There are aspects in your life that you feel compelled to give gold to because you know that you're capable of gold. You know what gold could look like when you set up for that party. My gold energy would be like a handmade charcuterie board, imported cheeses, a custom cocktail with reindeer, no, snowflake shaped custom ice cubes that I'm gonna go to 4 different home goods in 3 different counties to find the exact perfect ice mold. And I'm gonna start making them 6 nights ahead of time because that's how long it takes to make 35 of them because there's only 2 in a mold. That's gold energy. Nobody has to know that that could exist. People don't know what they don't know. And if you hit someone with rose gold energy, you know what they're gonna say? Wow. 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 If you put your hair in a low bun for a holiday party, instead of taking 55 minutes to curl your new extensions, hey man, cool. Whatever. I think we, as alpha females and alpha gays, if you're watching this, because you know I love my gays, we are our own worst enemy. We have created this bar, this gold cup energy that is so over the top and insane for ourselves. And then we hold ourselves to this gold standard. Let me tell you something. So few people notice our efforts. It's fucking unreal. It is unreal. I talked about this in the Shallon the other day, but it bears repeating. the foie gras macarons. If you're in the Shallon, you're like, not these again. Yes, these again. Last year for Thanksgiving, I went to my friend's Thanksgiving house, or her house for Thanksgiving, and I'll bring an appetizer. When I went to Mexico one time, I stayed at the St. Regis, and they gave you foie gras macarons. You know what a macaron is? Not a macaroon, a macaron. It's like the meringue thing. It had foie gras inside, so like a pate. So it wasn't like a sweet jelly. It was like a savory and then the sweet of the cookie. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. I made those. Do you know how hard it is to make meringue? I mean, for some people it's not. For me, it's very difficult. How hard it is to find pate foie gras in Bozeman, Montana? These are not easy things to accomplish. And I did it. And it took me a full day. A full day. And I'm like, they were perfect. They were beautiful. They were so classy. Something no one had ever tried. And guess what? Everyone literally hated them. They hated them. One person asked if there was dog food. Because they're like, well, I just don't know what this is. It looks like dog food. I was like, yeah, Brian, it's dog food. I brought dog food as an appetizer. Do you have any other questions for me, Brian? And here's the thing. If I'd brought spinach artichoke dip that I picked up from Outback, people would have been like, whoa, shit, man, what's next? A bloomin' onion? She got a bloomin' onion too? They would have been fine. They would have been fine. I was giving Gold Cup because I knew that energy existed. I knew what that could look like. Nobody else did. And even when I showed it to them, I shined a light, I put their little head towards the foie gras macaron, this Gold Cup appetizer. They were like, okay, that also is a lesson. This means different things to different people. Okay? It means different things to different people. I saw something online the other day that said, if you only have 40% to give and you give 40%, you've actually given 100%. Because that's all you had to give. You gave 100% of what you had to give, and that's 40%. I'm like, that's actually genius. It was meant to be funny, but I'm like, no, that's genius. That's genius. So what I want you to do is try to look at your energy expenditure and say, how much do I have to give here? How much do I have to give to wrapping these presents? Okay? And then what can I let go? Another thing we've talked about this week in the Shallon Taraj is the shoulds versus needs. Should is a very dangerous word. I think it's a word that is a word of compliance, a word of our own weird bar that we set that we always have to meet. And it's a word of people pleasing. I should rent a new dress for this event. No, I should buy one. I mean, I should buy one. Everyone else is buying one. I should buy one. Yeah, maybe I'll wear it again. I should do this. I should give to this. I should go here. I should go that. Shit. I want you to look at what the shoulds are, and I want you to look at what the needs are. I need to wrap presents. Okay, that's valid. You do need to wrap your presents. Okay, you're not barebacking presents to your family. But I should go to that one last Michael's because I bet they're going to have that one lime green ribbon that's going to match all these things. You're going to go need, and you're going to forget the shoulds. You're going to hit a target, not a bullseye. Hit a target, not a bullseye. Okay? This phrase has been a guiding light in my career for a few years now. I had a guy friend say it to me. And he's a screenwriter and he's very like persnickety and you know, he's like, this is his baby, his craft. And he's like, I have investors tell me all the time, producers be like, hit the target, not the bullseye. It doesn't have to be perfect. Fucking whatever. Who cares? There can be some plot holes. That joke can fall flat. It doesn't matter. And he's like, I would tear my hair out because no, I have to hit the bullseye every time. He's like, actually you don't, because for some people looking at what you're doing, your just vague target is a bullseye to them. That's a win to them. And it goes back to that Gold Cup energy. If you don't tell somebody else what your bullseye is, they might not know. They might not know. Have you ever had a friend like come to a party and you think she looks great and she's like, oh, I look awful. I had to just pull my hair in this ponytail. It looks amazing. And my wing liner didn't work and it looks stupid. It's not even. You're like, nobody can tell. You blink so fast, I can't even tell. You know, and they have this whole different metric of things they were trying to achieve. And you're just like, Olivia, you look great. Like, what? Just relax. Just, you look great. Who cares? You know, or it's like, oh, these cookies are a little too much heavy on the cinnamon, blah, blah, blah. And people are like, I don't notice, dude. Like, I don't even notice, man. Most people, spend their days thinking about one thing, themselves. Themselves. They're remarkably unobservant. Remarkably. Hit the target, not the bullseye. Get the presents wrapped, okay? It's not going to be on some home goods, some TV show, okay? Look at me right now. Look at me. Really, just please don't look too hard. Like I said, I was crying in the Shallon Trash video, so I'm trying to put myself back together after crying. I am wearing a shirt. I don't even know what it says. What does it say? It's really, really cozy Christmas. It's a really, really cozy Christmas. And as a cat playing with a ball of yarn, this was a PR gift from Lifetime Christmas movies. And I wear it at Christmas to look like a real basic bitch. And I was going to put on a whole outfit for you guys. And instead, here we are, because I'm hitting a target. I'm not hitting a bullseye. Fuck it. This dovetails into something else I want to talk to you guys about, which is family. Yeah. Family. Christmas is difficult. Being with family is difficult because what happens when we're around our parents? We become children. I don't care how old you are. You will constantly have to exert the concept that you are an autonomous adult. I had this conversation with my boyfriend the other day before I drove him to the airport to go home with his family. And I was like low-key ranting about my mom, who is the best, I love her. We have a great relationship. But yet, I mean, just goes to show, like, even if you are really close with your family, this is the thing that comes up. And he was saying that, you know, going home, he's like, I know I'm going to have the conversation. Like, Mom, you can't coddle me all the time. I'm an adult. He's 23. And I am like 25. Doesn't matter. But I'm like, baby, like, I've got news for you. You never stop having that conversation. He's like, really? I was like, not ever. No, because you're always their baby, you know? They're always going to see you like that. And when you're together, that is the dynamic. You fall into that dynamic because that's just the pecking order. And it's very hard to be like, this is my house. This is my body. This is how I dress. This is my decision. That I am a fully formed person now. Okay. That is something that is always going to be very challenging for your family to accept, you know, and it's born of love. It's born of protection. Of course, there are more toxic dynamics at play underneath it. Of course, you know, that can be true. But I can tell you, it's not just going to magically evaporate when you hit to an age and they're like, she has it all figured out. She doesn't need my input. A parent, it's very difficult for a parent to feel not needed anymore. And my mom is very independent, and she's not like a helicopter mom or anything like that. And she said one time, like, I was in the hospital a few years ago, and she's like, I mean, I certainly wasn't glad you were in the hospital, but I finally got to be needed again. And I'm like, what? My mom was like Angelina Jolie, like jet set, wild child, and then like settled right down when she had me. And so I never thought of her as like the mom that needs to be needed. You know, she's so independent and like so cool and everything. And I'm like, you wanted to be needed? And she's like, yes, I'm a mom. That's yes. And I was like, oh. And she said a little while ago, she's like, you know, I just wish you would call me when you were upset about things. I'm like, no, I don't want to like like barf out all my problems. I can do that on the internet. Why did I do it to my mom? And she's like, but I like to feel needed. I was like, huh. And now that I explain it, it sounds so obtuse. It sounds so obvious. But, you know, it just surprised me. It surprised me. And I know what you're thinking if you're a parent yourself. It's like, well, surely they know that once I become a mother myself, it's like it's hands off. No, it actually, it triggers them all over again, you know, because now they're like, oh, I know about this. I know how to do this. I was a mom. Your mom, actually. So let me tell you how to do this. You know, they want to be needed, and it's almost harder to watch you become more autonomous, like you're in charge now. It can be difficult. It can be difficult. Family in general can be difficult. So here's a coping strategy, okay? It involves lying. It does involve lying, as most of my strategies do. Okay. You need some time to yourself. You need some time to yourself. I don't care how extroverted you are. I don't care how fun the parties are. I don't care how many shoulds are on your list. Girl, you need some time to yourself. So before you go home, front load this. All good lies come with sort of a landscape around them. Tell your parents in advance, like, oh, I am so excited to come home. Don't even hint that you're like, ugh, I'm so excited to come home. Can't wait. I do have to warn you guys, I have a really big presentation that's due, like pretty much right when I get back. So I'm gonna have to work in the morning. I know it's not my favorite, but listen, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go to Starbucks, and I'm gonna like bang my workout, and then afternoon, I'm gonna be good to go. Like, I'm gonna be all yours. There's no presentation. I've just been on this amazing running regime, and you know, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna spend some time working out, or every night after dinner, I'm gonna go for a run. You're gonna go to Dairy Queen and smoke cigarettes in the parking lot. That's completely fine. I just need to meditate. Like, pick something that they will be like, oh, nice. I want to go to church. And I just have a very personal relationship with God, and I like to go to a church by myself. You're also gonna go to Dairy Queen and smoke cigarettes in the parking lot. That's okay, girl. That's okay. It is better to lie about cigarettes and Dairy Queen than to be a complete dick to your family. And I'm not saying your family might not deserve it. You might be saying, if you knew these people, you would be the first one to be like, I have to get the fuck away from all of you guys because I hate you. You can say that. Of course you can say that. Is that going to increase your peace? Is it? I mean, maybe. Probably not, though. Probably not. Can I just segue for a moment here? I follow some accounts that post, they're like anti-woke. And so they'll post like, you know, the woke mafia, you know, and their people with their purple hair or what. Those people. And they'll be like, it's like right before Thanksgiving, and they're wearing their shirt that says like Black Lives Matter or something like more, which we know is a scam now. I always knew it. But picture something more incendiary, like trans, disabled, queer, left-handed, one blue-eyed lives matter. And it's like them posing in the mirror, like in all their woke disgustingness, and being like, can't wait to like face fuck the family with this holiday. I can't wait to go in there and be disruptive and piss everyone off. And I'm like, forget my political stance as a moderate, forget all that. Any house guest, blood, or friend, anybody whose goal is to piss off their host can die in a fire. I have never heard something more appalling in my life. Do you know that like every single religious text that's ever been in the history of the world talks about the importance of being respectful to your host? Like, if you go to someone else's castle, you mind your P's and Q's. It is a no-fly zone. It's a safe zone. Everyone's laying down their weapons. Like the Jews talk about it, the Muslims, the Christians, the pagans. Everyone talks about this. Like, it is the one thing like everyone's shaking hands on. Like, don't be a dick to someone who is cooking you dinner. If you're going into your family's holiday with some sort of political agenda, cut it out, dude. Like, literally grow up, okay? I'm not saying that you have to be like, oh, no, I agree with this. I'm not, whatever your leanings are, I'm not saying that. But this is not the time, okay? You need to be respectful as a guest in someone else's home. Well, this is my home. This is my family's home. No, it's not. No, it is not your home. Listen, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, I'm an autonomous adult, but every house is my house. And my family's house, I'm a little baby and I can do what I want. No, if you're an autonomous adult, your house is your house and their house is theirs. Now, what if the script is flipped? And people are coming to yours and they're going to come and work their dumb political ideology or religious or whatever bone it is they go back to picking, you know? What if you made a no-fly list of topics? And what if you say that? Be like, ding, 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 ding. Hey, Aunt Dee, Uncle Bruce, cousins, everyone, me. I think this Christmas dinner, it's a politics-free zone. We all have our opinions. Some align, some don't. We're here to celebrate our family. We're not a political party. This isn't a congressional deposition. So let's just take some things off the table. How about words like Israel, Palestine, queer, transgender, Bieber, Baldwin, breast implant, okay? Just round out the B's. How about we just take those off the table? One thing you guys could do even, you could go around the table and everyone could say one thing that they do not want to talk about. It's like, I don't want to talk about having kids, okay? I don't want to talk about whether or not I want to have kids. I don't want to talk about my recent health scare. I don't want to talk about my weight. That could be a little too much. Like that could actually trigger you. But what if you guys just send it in the group chat before? Be like, hey guys, let's just say right now in the group chat, one thing that is off limits conversation wise, we're just all going to respect that and buy into it. Now, what if you're saying, that sounds great, Shallon. You're assuming I'm dealing with a bunch of reasonable, rational people. I'm not. I am not. Then girl, you got to just get through it. You got to just get through it, okay? Our relationships with our family or our relationship with ourself that will see us cut our families off or distance ourselves or put up boundaries, it is not something that has to be wrapped in a tidy little bow by Christmas Day. And that's what Christmas movies tell you is supposed to happen, right? That's the whole thing. Christmas miracles. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's a work in progress. You are a work in progress, okay? Please understand how much emotion comes up during this time of year. Nostalgia is the most dangerous emotion there is. We talk about it all the time. Nostalgia is a liar. Nostalgia is a hostage taker. It holds you in such a bad place. It takes you back to the past and it glosses over everything bad. And it focuses on a few really maybe good things, maybe bittersweet things. We think about family members who have died. We think about, like I said, what's going to happen in the future. We think about our finances and, you know, what it means for us as a provider or a daughter if we can or can't give someone something. And why can't we? And we're looking at other people. It's like, well, why can they afford that and I'm just barely squeaking by? This all doesn't have to get resolved now. It doesn't have to get resolved by January 1st. It doesn't have to get resolved by this time next year. This is our life's work, to look at what makes us happy, what makes us sad, what fills us with anxiety. And every day we just kind of chip away at it and work on it. And we also simultaneously guard ourselves against it creeping in further and hurting us more. And sometimes that's all we can do. Maybe that's not the gold cup energy. Maybe the gold cup energy is we fly in and we make everyone understand and we go into debt buying things. Fuck it, man. Give them a copper cup. Shit, give them a paper cup. Give people whatever you need to give them to protect your peace. And if they don't like it, oh well. Either they'll get over it or they won't. Let's talk Christmassy issues in the comments. I am so exhausted. I would go on, but my brain is done. This is my copper cup energy video for you. But you know, hopefully you guys are feeling a little bit less alone. If you're dealing with a holiday where it's difficult to afford something, or your family is not together, either because they don't want to be or because they can't be, you're far away from someone you love, you're taking care of someone who's sick, you're sick, you don't know what the future holds. I've been there, I've been through all of those. So many of us have. You are not alone. You're not. And please understand that the things you see on social media, including what I'm gonna post things that look beautiful and glitzy, you know? It's a social mask. That's what you're responding to. Everyone's gonna post their highlight reel. Behind the scenes, mess. Not for everybody, but in some ways, somehow, yeah. So stop comparing yourself. You're doing the best that you can. Don't look at everyone else's energy and think you need to give more gold cup. You don't, girl. Just get through it. We'll be back next week. We're gonna talk about those other celebrities I mentioned in the beginning. Plus, we're gonna do some glow up videos. Get ready for the new year. All right, I'll see you later, Shallon haters. Merry Christmas.